the October 4th meeting to order. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Adamson.
Here.
Mr. Parola.
Here.
Mr. Poliafico.
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Here.
Ms. Paglione.
Ms. Paglione called. She's excused.
Mr. Rusin.
Here.
Mr. Cullen.
Here.
Mr. DeMarcus.
Here.
And Mr. Ciccoletti.
Here. I have a motion to approve the complete agenda.
I motion.
I have a
Second.
second. Mr. Adamson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Ayes have it. Reports and presentations. Dr. Schaefer?
Yes, I just want to update the board on the following programs that we are currently running in conjunction with the Bucks County Community College. We have 9 students in our AP Chemistry class. That now counts for 4 college credits for those students. Also, we have 30 students in dual enrollment programs, and we have 11 students in the IT program. So currently, as of today, we have 50 students from Bristol High School who are dual enrolled in the Bucks County Community College. On a percentage-wise, that's outstanding, and these programs are excellent. Next Wednesday, October the 10th, it's part of our comprehensive plan. In conjunction with the AOC, we're going to be hosting a community meeting to receive input for our comprehensive plan. This is a requirement by the state. It's very similar to what we did 3 years ago with the last plan. It will be here in the LGI room. We'll start at 7 o'clock and end about 8:30, and Joanne Parati is going to be the moderator for that. Also, a reminder, Monday, October 8th is Columbus Day, so school is closed. Also, school is closed on Tuesday, October the 9th. It's an in-service day for teachers. And at your desk, you've received the summaries for the 700s for the board policies. At the next meeting today, you're going to vote on the 600s. Next meeting, you'll vote on the 700s. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Mr. DeMarcus has a question.
Tom,
Yes.
just a quick question. So, the students that are dual enrolled,
Yes.
it's outstanding. Is this the first year we're seeing those kinds of numbers?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, are we going to? So obviously, do we see the trend? We see the trend going up then.
We do, and as a matter of fact, we're in talks right now. Actually, next year, this IT program, we had 6 slots. We had 11 students who wanted it. I wasn't turning anybody away. So we have the 11 students in this IT program. They'll receive an IT certificate in Excel and Word this year. They'll have this course, 2 courses again next year. They walk out of high school, they'll have a job guaranteed handed to them in IT, automatically. So next year, what I'm hoping then is I will have another at least 10 students. So in that program, we'll have at least 21 students enrolled in that, okay? We're looking to also add our AP Social Studies courses. There are 2 of those. And everything submitted to the community college. They had to submit it to the middle states for community colleges. We're waiting to hear back from them. And then we'll continue with the dual enrollment. And we're also in talks with the community college for IBM to come in and start a program. We're hoping next year at Bristol High School on cybersecurity. So there's a lot of good things are happening.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Dr. Schaefer?
Yes.
That IT curriculum, is that for juniors and seniors, or?
It's for juniors and seniors.
Okay,
Primarily right now, juniors are taking it. I think we have 1 senior.
okay,
Because then the seniors find that's still going to be a benefit to that student. But those juniors, they stay the 2 years. Like I said, they'll walk out of here with a nice paid job.
okay, that's
Yes.
what thank you.
Any other questions? Public participation? Anyone from the public? You state your name.
My name is Quita Johnson Holman. I just have a question because I love what I just heard. Will you do you, or at one point maybe be considering maybe something in the chemistry department for juniors who may want to go into that field, even to volunteer to work in labs and stuff like that? Like to team up with the community college? Because my son is interested in doing something in chemistry, but we're trying to hook him up with a lab, even going in there to volunteer. But he's only a ninth grader, and I'm just looking into the future for him.
Currently, any students who are in Dr. Smith's junior class, junior year,
Okay.
in the chemistry class, okay, he gets them involved in numerous activities. In the city of Philadelphia, he's president of the entire Delaware Valley Chemical Society. So our students are constantly taking trips there, and he does expose them to Temple and Drexel. So they are involved with both those universities. And we have walked away with awards from both of those.
Tom,
So they
but
are.
you said your son's only in ninth grade?
He's only a junior, and he is his thing is he wants to do something in medicine. He wants to help.
Is he currently in the chemistry class?
No. So he said that they have to volunteer. They have so many amount of hours that they have to do, I guess, for volunteer between now and 12th
He has to
grade.
do 10 service hours this year.
Yeah. So his interest is, again, in medicine. So he wants to do something in the area of medicine to be able to help develop some kind of medicine for illness or something like that. And we figure he has to be able to at least team up with like a chemist to do something like that. So that's why that was, just kind of trying to find
Tomorrow
someone.
morning, I'm in the high school. I'll meet with him,
Okay,
and we'll work something out.
thank you. His name is Shaquille Grimes.
Yes, absolutely. Guido. And I'll be in touch with you.
Can he go with Dr. Smith if he goes on the
I don't
tours?
see why not, absolutely.
If he's interested?
Yeah, because we have a chem club and all, yeah. I'll see him tomorrow, Guido, okay?
No one else from the public? Okay, public participation closed. Routine monthly business.
Okay, Mr. President, item 5.
Yeah.
Approve, item A of number 5, approve the minutes of June 26th, September 6th, 2018 meeting. Item B, approve the list of bills for July, August, and September 2018. Item C, approve the treasurer's report for June, July, and August 2018.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. DeMarco? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Okay, see all the policies there. Item A under personnel.
Item A, under personnel, approve the appointment.
No,
Oh,
we,
yeah,
we,
To approve this.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, there's a 700 series
Oh,
for next week.
okay, sorry.
Next week.
Okay,
Oh, okay, I'm
item,
Item, under new
New
business,
business.
item A, adopt the following 600 series policies with a summary below, as listed with the agenda.
Second.
any questions?
They're mandatory, am I right?
they are, yes.
Policy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Okay.
Mr.
Now
Reason, I
personnel.
apologize just 1 second, just for an FYI. These are very difficult, and I've complimented Dr. Schaefer before to keep these updated. Most school districts do not. He has taken the bull by the horn starting last year and has done them in segments and has done a fabulous job updating it from 10, 15 years ago. Some of them have been
2000,
overlooked.
all from 2000.
Okay, just for your FYI. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Schaefer.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
ready to go in item
Item A.
8. Item A under personnel, approve the appointment of Hope Hall, special education teacher salary, bachelor step 1, as per the master agreement, effective 2018-2019 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. DeMarco? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Item B,
Item B, approve to grant tenure to the following teachers who have successfully completed requirements established by PDE and recommended by the district administration. Tiffany Morosi and Rocco Parola.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Dum-
I abstain from that
Addison?
one.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays, abstentions?
I abstain from that one.
Okay, Mr. Frola. Item number C,
Item C, approve the appointment of the following part-time matron, $10.50 per hour, no benefits, as per negotiated agreement, effective immediately. Maria Sell.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Adamson? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item D.
Item D, approve the appointment of Ann Patina as a substitute district assistant, $13.20 per hour, no benefits, as per negotiated agreement, effective 2018-2019 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Adamson? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions?
Item
Item
E,
E.
approve the appointment of the following day-to-day substitutes at a rate of $90 per day, no benefits, as per master agreement, effective 2018-2019 school year. Morgan Baker, Ann Lane.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Adamson? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item F.
Item F, approve the appointment of Mary Jeswaldy for contractor as our Title I coordinator, salary $28,000 per year, no benefits, effective 2018-2019 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Adamson? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item G.
Item G, approve the appointment of Ashley Ashwall as district assistant, PCA, $13.20 per hour, no benefits, as per negotiated agreement, effective 2018-2019 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Adamson? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? IU Representative Debbie Mack, Mary Agnes DeChico, they're not present tonight. Mr. Poliafico, I believe you have something you want to discuss, your committee. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's, just in case the public hasn't been aware of it, we've been trying to find extra storage at the high school for a lot of the outside equipment and the football equipment and this hockey and track. We're in the process, Mr. Ruzin, Mr. Adamson, Mr. Cullen, myself, have been working on trying to find some answers to our storage problems. So we come up with an idea to go ahead with a pole barn. We're going to try and get some specs for that and present them to the borough, apply for permits, and then we're going to see how far along we can get before the cold weather. And with the help of the borough, hope to get something established rather quickly. But I will have some more information at the next board meeting. I don't know if Mr. Cullen or Mr. Ruzin, Mr. Adams have anything they want to add. Just briefly, that's where we stand right now.
And what are we going to be putting in that building?
The football equipment, probably the hockey field equipment that's been out.
Track stuff.
Track equipment that has to stay out, and it gets damaged, and to replace some of that track equipment, those pads and things are, it's rather expensive. So we've been trying to come up with something over the years, and we finally think we found something. We're going to try to implement something here real quick. The business manager is going to get some info, and then we're going to approach the borough and see where we go from there.
Okay. Anybody else on that committee have anything to add?
No, already covered.
But when you say a pole barn, Jeff, that is that's the term that they use. It's actually a metal structure.
Yes, yeah.
Very nice metal structure.
Yeah, it's a heavy gauge. According to some of the info we have here, the painted steel would last, 40-year guarantee. The roof is 40 years, the siding 40 years. With just one big garage door, a man door on the side, possibly. We'll be putting it out there at the practice field across from the high school, and we're just going to see where we go and try to stay within the nice little low budget project, hopefully.
And it's going in an area where it's not going to affect anything. It's out in the
Right.
middle of the field or
Yeah.
whatever, so
Yeah.
it's not going to infringe on anybody's property or anything like that. So, I mean, pads and everything else are sitting outside right
Yeah.
now, and gonna get ruined, so.
Mr. Rusin, you saw the building, and you're in agreement with that?
Yes,
It's a
yes.
well-constructed building?
Yes, I
It's
did.
a,
And-
it's
Very nice building.
it's actually a really nice looking building, so it's not like an eyesore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice
mean,
building.
We even, I'm sorry, Steve.
No, that's fine.
We, a couple of us took a ride over to the Amish, and we looked at some of them garages, something fast, inexpensive, and simple to install or drop off, whatever. But, and they were asking $15,000 for, I believe that one was 24 by 24. This one here is 30 by 40, 30 across, 40 deep. But not, the Amish, they do a great job, but we don't think it would stand up to the time and the beating that it would probably take moving equipment in and out because of their construction. It's light metal or siding type material and all wood. So those are some of the things that we checked into. This seems to be the best way to go, and with the help of Chris McHugh, we're gonna get started tomorrow and get some steps.
Firehouse by the little Wawa is one of these pole barns, and that's been up for I don't know how long, and it still doesn't show any kind of
Yeah.
wear. I
You know
mean,
what?
it's still in good shape.
That's true, you're right.
Yeah,
That is that
it
building.
is, and it's still nice looking. I mean, it's still good.
Yeah.
That's
So I
right.
mean, it goes through the rigmarole of the firehouse with all their equipment going in and out of there, so I'm sure with putting a few pads in our building, it's gonna last a long time.
All right, very good. I know you put a lot of work into it with the committee, so that's a good report. Anybody have any questions on that? If not, we'll go around the horn. Mr. Adamson?
Tech school meeting earlier this month. On the table with the tech school right now is we're working on reformulating the enrollment criteria, or is that right, Dr. Schaefer?
Yes.
The criteria is for those students. In essence, a lot of the superintendents think that it should be a straight lottery, where right now, what they do is the students that are incoming are scored. So you have to meet certain criteria in order to get a score, in order to, I guess, apply, right? Is that
We just felt that this would be a lot more equitable than the current system.
right? So now it's kind of in committee, and that's where we stand with that process on the tech board side, so.
Can you explain how they're gonna use a straight lottery as opposed to what we do now? What's the difference,
Well, I think the lottery is they pull the names out of a hat,
Yes.
correct? And then those students that are drawn out of there, they look at their grades, they look at their attendance, and then they're judged by that also. Not judged by, but that has a lot to do with it also.
There's an
So-
entire list of criteria, yes,
Yeah.
you're correct.
So, and then what they're saying now, I'm assuming, right, Joe, that they would do away with that part?
Right, that's-
Just draw without going through the background little check, John.
It would be a straight lottery.
Right, so we have, whatever, we have 11 seats or 15 seats, whatever we have. However many kids apply,
They wouldn't,
Well,
the first
and-
15 names that get pulled would be.
Right, so
absentee and grades and stuff like that, John, attendance,
don't matter?
wouldn't apply.
Well, here's my only concern. One of the things I've seen over the last several years is that kids get in there, they win the lottery, they're all happy. Then after a year, they said, you know what, I really don't like tech school. And we're unable to replace them. Is that correct, Chris?
Depending-
Right, but my point is that, so by going that way, you're gonna increase the population of kids that are rolling the dice. We're at making some kind of standards that they say, look, I really wanna go to tech school. And all I'm saying is, and then we end up with a parent that says, my kid didn't make the lottery, really wanted to go to tech school, but that kid got the lottery, went there for a half a year, and then decided it wasn't for him, and we've effectively knocked out, if we could replace kids, I would be all for it, but, I mean, does anybody see that by doing it that way, you're gonna have more kids that are just rolling the dice? I mean,
I think
But I do think we can replace them,
at a
right?
certain time. Am I
we
correct?
A lot of
Cameron?
times we replace kids with transfers.
Yes.
Right.
Like if a kid comes from Bristol Townships and a tech school, we don't deny them the tech school, we automatically send them back there.
Okay.
So I mean, for every 2 to
And-
3 kids we lose, we gain through transfer.
But say if.
And we
if
just,
a
we
student-
just did enter, we just, we, yeah, we
If a
just did
student-
allow 3 more students to enter.
If a
We
student,
did
like,
fill those
they go in
spots,
ninth
yes.
grade,
So we have been filling them.
No, that's my point, is they weren't letting us fill in.
It just kind of recycles, Jeff. You know what I mean? Like if there's 10 kids and 2 drop out, it'll recycle to the next kid, because you get a
the next
total
person
amount
on
of
the
tech
list.
school kids,
Right.
yes.
But does it have to be within that ninth grade year, or can it be?
I think it's
start at
really
10?
difficult for kids to start after 9th grade.
We look for the 9th grade. If we don't have a 9th grade, if it's they rarely go beyond 10.
Okay.
We do 10.
So if they're
But
gonna
not
drop
11 or
out,
12.
we're looking at, I hate to say hoping, but it's better for the next student on that list if that happens
Yes.
during that ninth grade year.
Correct.
Okay, now, my question is, Joe, you see, when you brought that up, we had Mr. D'Angelo raise a valid question. So now that you're looking over the articles and all of that, can you mention that point and say, well, look, we had a concern by a member, I happen to agree with Mr. D'Angelo, I think everybody agrees with that, we'd like to replace that. So,
Well,
is that, are we gonna be able to have a say in that, or that has to get voted on?
no, I believe we do have,
No, we'd have a say in that.
yeah, we
Okay,
you
now,
definitely do.
okay, now the second question, okay, the second question is, I know me and you are on the tech board. So does the board have to vote on this as a whole and then send you back as our representative, saying we want, it's a yes vote, or do me and you make that decision?
Well, no, I bring it back to here, and I think, just like we did with the articles, we had a vote last year.
Okay.
We signed off, and then, Jen sent it up to,
Okay, so then me and
Whitby
you
to-
are the representative, so then we'll
Correct.
check back with the board,
correct.
and we'll say, okay,
Right, we have to put it on our agenda to vote for
We'll,
something
we'll
like
vote on that, and like you said, there's a major concern there, is that we would like to replace if someone drops out, and are we gonna make provisions for that?
Right, and see, our numbers our numbers pretty much do, Chris could attest to this, our numbers pretty much stay the same.
Right.
You know, we have,
Yeah, I mean, we're usually between 55 and 60 kids every year. And like I said, once you get 2 or 3 drop out, chances are 2 or 3 come right in from the township, and, we don't
Yeah.
refuse them the tech school.
Then that's fine.
no,
Right, but, not to belabor a point, right, but my whole point is this. We want to get as many kids and always fill up our slots of kids coming from Bristol to go to the tech school. But what we don't want is kids to just say, hey, yeah, maybe I'll like that, and throw their name in. I'm not saying it happens a lot, but I've seen some cases where it has happened. So I guess from our point of view, we really need to kind of get our pool of candidate kids that really are considering it, and really look them in the eye and say, is this what you really want to do?
That's a good
And in that
point.
way,
God,
yeah,
I understand your
valid
point
point.
exactly.
Yeah.
I had two of my children went to the tech school.
right.
My oldest son went for a year, absolutely hated it.
Right.
But it's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So he put his name in the lottery, he was selected, he went for the first year, hated, not hated it, but just said, Dad, this isn't for me, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And he came back to the homeschool. Now, my other one loved it.
Right.
That was exactly what he needed.
Right, and under that realm, right, the kids put their name in, they got selected, and they went, and they either liked it or they didn't, and when one of them dropped out, I doubt very highly that we were able to replace. So there was a kid who didn't get the lottery that wanted to go, that
You're
didn't go
absolutely
to,
right.
and look, I mean, that's sometimes the randomness of life. All I'm saying is, by making it a random lottery, and it's up to the individual sending schools to police who they're sending, or to validate that you really want to go, and you just don't want somebody saying, hey, I'll give it a shot, when they're taking a place of a spot of a kid who might want to
Well,
go.
no, that's a good point, but, so we could have our rules here and say, well, can we, how do you say this? Do we have to set standards here to say, well, you're gonna have to uphold these standards if you wanna put your name in for a lottery?
Or we can just check them, right,
Do we
Yeah,
do that?
We could do our own in-house policy.
okay.
Absolutely.
and that's
Obviously
it.
not, if the tech school's looking to change the method.
Well, the tech school's not gonna do it, but we are.
We could
We'll
say,
we can will.
we
Am
could
I
have
correct?
criteria, Jeff.
They are correct. We have to abide by the laws and stuff of that tech board, but we can supersede that. I mean, we can decide as a unit who we want to send them.
Prior to them getting the names.
Correct.
Yes, so before they submit their name to the tech school, we could say, well, no, you know, your grades aren't good enough, but we would have to set standards. So we might want to look at,
So I would assume, and Dr. Schaefer, you
and
can,
then this way we
Correct me
know.
if I'm wrong.
I would be very, very careful.
Yeah, you
And I
have
would
to.
have Mr. Hornstein get involved because I think we could be opening up a can.
First of all, I don't think any kid should be denied going to tech school if he wants to give it a try. I think, you know, you don't know if you have mechanical ability until you use it. And you go there for a half a year, if you really hate it, if you, like Joey's son, you hate it, it's something, it's like you trying to eat something you don't like.
Right.
You don't want to, you know, you're not gonna excel at it if you don't like it. And some kids that give it a shot, maybe they will excel in it. We can't do that.
and
Absolutely.
I see
concern
both
is-
sides of this argument too, because I sat in a discussion for, 2 hours at the tech board that night about this, because, there's people that are passionate on both sides, and there's good valid cases to be made for each one, You just do a straight lottery and, let the chips fall where they may, or, you have those criteria because, it is an accelerated school or fairly accelerated, and, they are there for a business purpose and to get a rounded technical education as well as, a good sound academic education. So, we do want to send the best of the best, and we do want, we do want our students to succeed, and we do want them to go and succeed. But on the other end of that, there's a lot of them that don't know what they want to do.
Right.
And
They don't know what
at
they're
13 or
getting into.
14 years old, you don't.
It takes that whole first year to figure out if that.
To kind of decide, yeah.
That's what
So,
But we want to
And
be able,
our concern was, students are being denied for certain criteria, and chances are, a number of those students, after we looked at specific names and all who were denied, they would probably flourish there better than they would back at a home school, because this is what, they need a hands-on, rather than pure
So
academic.
you're saying that we have denied?
We have not, Devote Tech has.
Okay.
We don't. It's not our criteria.
Once the names were submitted to the tech went over them, their
Tech-
grades and their files and things
Everything,
like that?
everything.
And they chose not to take a few of our students and other district
Right.
students
Everything.
based on certain,
Yes,
okay.
and that was our concern.
I'd rather it that way than this board do that.
I got a
That's just my
suggestion here
opinion.
too, that, I wonder if it would be feasible to have a couple of the kids from tech school that's attending there now, talk to the people that's interested in going to tech and give them
We
example
do
of what.
that, we do that.
yeah, I think they do,
Do that?
they do have a
Oh, okay.
roadshow, yeah.
We do that
Okay,
now.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, they come over here and we go over there.
Yeah,
We do both.
okay, that's great.
okay, so we got a couple of good points, but like you said, I always felt as though I don't want to hold anybody back. If somebody goes and somebody drops out, my personal opinion, I would like someone to go in that spot that really wants to
We
be
should
there.
be filling our seats,
It's
correct.
football, I think we're all in agreement with that, to fill that seat.
My point was, as a board member here, I don't want to be the one that says no for any student.
Exactly.
Not to. So I think I'm more comfortable with the way it is now, allowing the tech school to, go over those records and things like that and decide.
Well, I think they do it in concert with our guidance counselor,
They
if
do.
I'm not mistaken. yeah. So, I mean, they do work together.
Okay.
So it's not like, it's.
When they go to the guidance counselor would say to them, look, your grades have to be a little better to apply to the tech school.
Correct.
So I think you need to come up with your grades, or, you're not
Right,
going to
and
be
I
eligible.
think that roadshow that the tech school does, it starts in 7th grade. So they come out in 7th grade and have a little show, and they come out and say, well, if you guys, and I know this because I talked to the guy that does the recruiting up there, Mr. Martino. He explains to the kids that, this is, it's feast or, like, you have to be like in the top echelon of your class in order to get into the tech school.
Okay.
You know, you have to be, you know, you can't be a discipline problem. You have to go to school. You have to get good grades. You know, you can't be an attendance issue.
Is that in 8th grade, Joe? That they do
Seventh
that?
and eighth.
They do
grade.
seventh and
look-
eighth.
They look
Good.
back to
Okay.
7th and 8th grade.
But the students are, the 7th grade students and 8th grade, or just 8th grade students that would be going into the tech the following year, or the ones that they?
It would only be
speak to?
8th grade, but we give the presentation to both 7th and 8th.
Okay,
So the 7th
great.
can start thinking about it.
Good, well then that's great, that's great.
Because then that puts them on the path, you know what I'm saying?
Fair point.
Exactly.
If I want to do this, then I need to,
To do
you know,
this,
make sure I'm in school every day and make
Right.
sure I'm getting good grades and, you know, make sure I'm not a discipline problem and,
Right,
you know, those type of things.
good, good.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, I think that's enough.
Okay. Mr. Parolo?
I'm good.
Mr. Paliakoff? Mr. D'Angelo?
No, just one thing, on Monday, September 17th, the Bristol Athletic, Alumni Athletic Association, they had their annual golf outing, and it's a really nice event that they do, and what they do with their money that they raise is, they award at graduation grants to our athlete, male and female, and scholar athletes, and they've expanded what they're doing now to throw some, you know, some money around, and they ask teachers to submit applications, and so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. When I get the final list, because I'd like at our next meeting just to take my time to read the list of all the sponsors in Bristol Borough that donate, sponsor holes, give door prizes, donate flag sponsors, and at our meeting, when I get the final list of everyone, I would, you know, request permission to read into the record the name and to ask the people that are watching at home to support these guys, because they, in one day, they raised $10,000, and they've already earmarked $500 to our math night, which is a really great thing, and $1,000 to the Silver Bay trip, which I think that Silver Bay trip cost closer to $20,000.
It does.
So they've already kind of threw some money our way there, and it's just really a good thing. So at our next meeting, I'll have the list, and I'd like to read it. It might take 5 minutes or so, but
Good.
thank you.
Do I get my flag?
You get your flag.
Isn't that something, he wants to thank the sponsors or something, isn't that something we can put on our channel for just?
We can,
I mean, I think that's fine.
And I would also like to bring in the executive board of the BAA, just to thank them once we get it. And I will say to Mr. Hornstein that he sponsored one of the flags, one of the holes, and it was the hole-in-one hole. And if somebody got a hole-in-one, they would get $20,000. And he gave me strict instructions. I was actually on that hole, and I had to stand there with a golf club to knock any balls away that even had a chance of going. Thankfully, some of those guys couldn't hit the green, so you were okay. Nothing to worry about.
See, that is absolutely false, because I wanted somebody to win the 20,000 so I can get a third for attorney's fees. You're absolutely false.
Thank you.
Mr. Marcus?
I just want to circle back again to Dr. Schaefer, because I think it's important that we celebrate our victories, and it sounds like that dual enrollment's a real big victory. And I think, just thinking about it, I mean, right now data crunching is huge and IT is huge. So I think if it's successful, we can maybe explore going further down that hole into like Microsoft Access and even Tableau for up-and-comers into the workforce. Because I think that's really going to set them apart from their peers. So I think it's a really great job we're doing and you guys are doing, and I think there's probably opportunity in the future to expand that program. Just my opinion.
Okay, good. Anything else? Mr. Collins?
Grab Mr. Reason, if he's still there.
Go ahead, I'm going to him.
Okay,
You're
okay. Yeah, I do have something. Dr. Schaefer, I'm curious to know how many students get dropped off in the morning at this drop-off point behind the gym. Is it, 50% of the students? I mean, it's a pretty long line there because
I have no idea, Mr. Coleman. We'd have to ask.
I mean, I don't really need to know the number, but I
don't know.
I help a family out in town drop their daughter off in the morning, and like for the last couple of years, Miss Samo was out. She's always out there in the morning. Okay, there was a volunteer there for like a couple of years, and I think I heard that his granddaughter used to go to the school, but now she goes to high school. Now he doesn't volunteer anymore, and that drop-off area is, I mean, there's 5-6 cars pulling out. Kids are getting outside. she's out there by herself, and then there's the kids, the walking kids are coming across at the same time. So she has kids walking from our playground in front of these cars into the gym, and she's there by herself. And then she got kids getting out of the cars. I mean, she's like, it's like a one-man show out there. I mean, like every morning I've seen her, you know, this year, just about out there by herself. Now, she did have, Mr. Mead was out there for a week or so, but I heard he's not here anymore. I mean, I think if anything, there's a lot of activity going on right there, a lot of activity. And I think she definitely needs somebody out there with her.
I'll
I mean,
just, Mr. Rosado,
I mean,
like I said,
it-
I've
I
had
mean-
no complaints, so I haven't heard anything.
I mean, I'm watching it. I mean, like I said, every morning I'm there and I just watch her. She's trying to cross kids. She's making sure kids get out of the car. I mean, you got 5, 6 cars unloaded kids, you know, at a time. They pull up 4 or 5 cars and everybody unloads.
Yeah.
And then she's got the kids walking across and like she's walking the kids across. She's directing traffic.
I've heard
I mean, that's
nothing till
definitely,
now, so
that's
I
definitely a
definitely-
two-person area. I'm so afraid of, you know, a car taking off and a kid, you know, come running across out of that playground. But there's, you know, I mean, there's a lot of kids in the morning using that exit. I just like to really see her really get some help here. I don't know. I know we have, I don't know what, Mr. Denny, he's out here.
I know these are signs of space right now, yes. I mean, what he does out there, we need.
Okay, but she definitely absolutely needs some assistance out there. I just want to point that out. Thank you, that's it.
Is that it? Mr. Rusin?
I have nothing.
Dr. Schaefer?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Solicitor?
No, thank you.
I have nothing, so I'll call for a
Motion to adjourn.
adjournment.
Second.
Second.